Okay, are you back? Can you see me? Okay, so this is April Kamara here, mindset coach and medium, and just badass bitch all around. Okay, so this live is like all about holding the vision. So I kind of forgot that I was doing this series, and I was thinking, I was like, wait, wasn't I doing a series on my actual Facebook profile? And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh crap, let me just get back on that. So the series was about holding the vision, and whenever you guys hop on, just say hello so I know that you're here. Holding the vision is all about like pretty much energetically aligning with the reality that you want, you know, despite the fact that it's not physically here yet, because everything is energy and everything works off of our energy. So if we want to change something in the outside world, first our energy has to match that like vibration so that it can bring us there, right? It literally like catapults us into the direction that we're going just by us fixing our energy. So the last two topics that we talked about, first is the dedication that it takes to this, because holding the vision takes work. It takes mental like focus, right? And it also takes doing some background work, and we talked about that in the part 2. So this part 3 is all about standing firm in your conviction. So when you've matched that like rate of frequency of where you're at, when you've identified these triggers, when you've done the background work and you see the triggers coming up in your life, you have to hold strong in your faith. And your faith, number one, that you deserve that, right? And your faith, number one, that it's coming to you, even though physically it's not in front of you yet. Your faith that even your spiritual connection, right? Like your spiritual connection knows that that's where you are despite what's going on around you. And I think I talked about this in one of my Facebook lives in my group that I actually just changed the name to. It's called Spiritual Gangstas and Lightworkers. So if you want to add yourself to that group, go ahead. But hold on, I'm getting a call. Whoopsie. I didn't know the number, so that'll be fine. Usually that's my husband calling, and he's like, he sees my lives and he's like, you hung up on me. I'm like, I was in the middle of a video. I don't know, it's funny because he's always just calling me to tell me that he's coming home from the he's coming home to tell me that he's like coming home from the grocery store or something funny like that. So okay, once you stand strong in your faith, right, and in your spiritual connection, it's like you know that despite the fact that your outside surroundings aren't reflecting what's internally happening, you're standing firm in that conviction that that is yours. You deserve that. This is like where you're going, right? Like this is where you energetically are, and by energetically being there and by energetically projecting yourself there, by holding the vision, by doing the background work, by identifying your triggers and switching into the back into the frequency that it takes for you to be there, you literally catapult yourself into that being. So I'm like having this huge moment of holy crap, like I'm answering one of my own questions right now. I freaking love how this content does that, you guys. Like all this content is like spirit led. Like I'm a medium, so like I can like talk to dead people obviously, but I also get like downloads and I can channel, and like I feel like this work that I'm talking about right now is like divinely led, and I was meant to say this on this exact date because like I just had a situation like that triggered me, and I'm like realizing like, girl, like switch that trigger, shift into that vibration that you want. Like this thing is like in the physical now, but the physical now is really like the past, you guys. Like what you physically see before yourself now is like technically old stuff like appearing in front of you. So it's like it's our job to switch into that vibration of what we want as quickly and as effectively as possible. Like that's our job. That is what we're here to do. And our like firm conviction of these like physical, like the faith that we have, our firm conviction of the spiritual connection that we have literally catapults us into that reality. And like if you were to think about it in a way of like energy, right, like everything internally has to shift before the external like shifts, right? So that's why I talked about the dedication it takes. That's why I talked about doing the background work. And that's why now I'm talking about standing firm in your convictions. Because standing firm in your convictions is a way of you saying that it doesn't matter what's thrown at me. Like, because like I said, everything that's in the present right now is technically past thinking. So you have to have this mindset that no matter what comes up in the present, you remember that that's already past stuff. You just switch back to the frequency that you need. And how do you get to that frequency? How do you hold that like vision for yourself? Well, you do it in the ways that like keep you in the feeling of being there already, right? And I'm actually going to talk about this the next time, because I want you to get this like through your head. I want you to like really hone in on this. This is the part that is the hardest, especially for people who are spiritual, especially for people who, like, you know, we get the spiritual practices we want to manifest, but we're kind of wishy-washy when it comes to the standing firm, right? Because we have this like misconception that the spiritual should just do it for us. But the spiritual needs us to meet it halfway, right? And sometimes that means standing in this exact spot and saying, no matter what is thrown at me, no matter what past stuff comes up at me, I'm going to switch back into the vibration of that which I'm calling forward. I'm going to hold that vision, and I'm going to stand firm in my conviction that I, number one, deserve it, that I, number two, am going to have it, number three, that it's mine already, right? And that these things that are going on around me are distractions. Like, we, in order to hold the vision, I said this in one of the lives that I did before I actually made this series, because I was like, this is like a series. It has a lot to it, right? And I wanted to do its due diligence. But there was just this knowing that I had that was like, okay, if you're going to be the type of person that holds the vision, right? So I'm like holding, like you hold the vision out here, right? And like you're in it energetically, like you're in that vision. You are like embodying the person that you would be having all those things, right? Like you are in that place vibrationally. All the things going on around you, outside of you, like I said, they're past beliefs, they're past thoughts manifesting right now, right? They are distractions. Like, they're nothing to you right now. If you're energetically in the place where of the vision that you want, of the goal that you want, of the thing that you want, like in life, the thing that you're trying to manifest, right? The thing that you desire. If you're in that place energetically, all the things physically going on around you are kind of like distractors. They're ways to kind of like pull you back into like where you're at. But you know, if you're standing firm in your conviction, that you have to hold that vision. Like, that's why this whole series is holding the vision. So you hold the vision, and if that means standing firm in your conviction, sometimes that just means sitting down and getting quiet. So I talk about this a lot because it's so integral. Meditation is like it's like the catalyst of having like a spiritual practice, and not only a spiritual practice, but of like receiving spiritual guidance. Because what you do is, like, when you have situations that are triggering you, when you have these like moments where you want to just give up, where the outside world is not reflecting what's internally happening within you, right? Your mind wants to rationalize, it wants to fight back, it wants to like, you know, pretty much your mind will say that, oh, I need to fight these people so that they don't mess with me, right? But as soon as you fight them, as soon as you respond to them, as soon as you give it your attention, you're automatically taking your attention away from your vision, you know, the vision that you have way up here. You're taking it away from your vision, and you're coming back into the reality that you don't want, because you're responding to it, because you're giving it your attention, because you think that you need to handle it. But like I said, the present is technically a past thought. It's a past belief. It's something old, right? We know that like energetically, our energy is what has to shift first. So like the longer that our energy is in this vision that we're holding, then the longer that there's like the possibility of everything outside you shifting. So the external world is literally just a distractor. And if you get too distracted on what's going outside you, then you have like this energy that instead of being on your vision is coming back to the present, and you're honestly kind of like buying into what your ego is trying to trick you into. So stand firm in your conviction. Get still and silent when you get these triggers, you know. Get silent and just like feel the emotion, let the emotion run through you. And then just create this, like, I heard it from Gigi Young. She's like this ET psychic. I love her. She's awesome if you want to look her up on YouTube. I think she's like gorgeous too. She's so pretty. And then she like talks about ET consciousness, like extraterrestrial consciousness. So she talks about like connecting to her psychic like abilities, right? As creating this, like, she calls it a beautiful blank space in your awareness. So it's like, instead of embodying yourself, right? Instead of like seeing yourself as like a human being in your body, it's like when you're meditating, you create this like almost like blank space that goes from the top of your head all the way down. And it's like you kind of like just let go of all the worldly like beliefs, of all your belief systems, of all the resistance in your body. And I'm just kind of like doing this around my body, right? Like, because we have this tightness, and it's like you just like release it, and by releasing it, it's like you're creating this beautiful blank space within you. And she calls it like the universal consciousness that comes in there, because when you create this blank space, when you like release the resistance that you have around these things, then all of the divine messages can flow through, and all of the divine messages can come into you. And you may not know that subconsciously you're receiving this, but you are. And by subconsciously receiving this, you're literally like one with the universe in that moment. And so you may not consciously have an answer, but the like universe is aligning with you, right? As long as you're holding your vision and you're like pretty much letting go of whatever it is that's triggering you, that's trying to pull you back into what you're like currently in the past, which is technically the past, it allows the universe to come in and like fill that space with love, fill that space with abundance, with the answers that you require, with the knowing that you need, right? Or with the universal hookup that comes in. Like, I had one girl who, because I've been like offering this chakra sessions in my Facebook group, and I had one girl who was just telling me, she's like, oh my God, you know, like I was just telling the universe or something that I wanted to like feel better, and I saw this, and it was just like exactly what I needed. And I was like, yes, girl. Like, I was just telling people, you know, like when we make a decision, like I think I was talking about in my live video yesterday, I was like, when you energetically decide to invest in a mindset coach, hence this chick right here, when you energetically invest in yourself to do that, you're literally, money is energy, right? So you're literally energetically shifting in that moment without doing anything, right? You're energetically shifting in that moment. And so it's like when you make that intention, when you say like, you know, I desire this, I'm choosing this, right? Like I'm choosing to be happier, I'm choosing to have more abundance, whatever it is that you're choosing, whatever it is that's going to get you closer to that vision, right? Once you make that internal decision, you're energetically moving, you're energetically going somewhere. Even though you feel like you're still in this place right now, just having the intention, just paying the money, just, you know, there's more to it than that. But that's like the subtle little things that you can do like that literally catapult you closer and closer and closer to your vision. It gets you closer and closer and closer to where you need to be. It gets you closer and closer and closer to the reality that you want. And that's what we're all after, right? We're after this reality that's like putting us in the vision that we have. So comment below, like definitely let me know, what's your vision? You know, what vision are you holding? And if you have any more questions, definitely let me know in the comments. The next live that I'm going to do, because hopefully, like, I'm going to do it when Spirit leads me to, because I can answer my own questions again. But the next one that I'm going to do about holding the vision is going to be aligning mind, body, and soul. So that's going to be where we talk about, like, okay, you know that it takes dedication. You've done the background work. You're standing firm in your convictions. And then every single day you want to align in this way so that not only like through investing, not only through setting an intention, but like almost like every single like chakra in your body is literally aligned with the energy that you're going towards. So instead of having energy that's sporadically going everywhere, your energy is a straight shot, and you can literally slingshot from one place to another, okay? So hopefully this makes sense. Like I said, if you like it, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. And definitely tell me what your vision is that you're holding in the comments. All right, bye guys. I will talk to you.